It is Sunday, July 12th, and it is good to be back. Beautiful Sunday outside. It's officially midsummer time, so this is the last day of MLB baseball, actually until Thursday for the All-Star break. So much needed break for the players to rejuvenate and hopefully hit even more home runs for the second half of this season. So this week's been all right. This is my first video. I've been posting pics in the Discord, and then also on my I've been making posts on my channel here as well when I got the time. So obviously I'm a busy worker here, so I try to get videos out when I can. We got an early slate today with it starting at 12:16 p.m. Eastern, and then the last game's finishing up. Last game starting up actually around 4 p.m. So most of the games should be finished around 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight. And then obviously we got the home run derby tomorrow. So that should be pretty fun to watch with Kyle Schwarber, Caglione, Bryce Harper, um, Ben Rice is in it. So yeah, this should be a lot of fun. And I saw Ballpark Pal. For most of you who have Ballpark Pal have seen, they already got the home run stuff up, so that's pretty cool. So I haven't really taken too much of a look at it yet. So, but maybe tomorrow, when I get the chance, I'll take a look at it, or maybe later on this evening as well. So, weather looks pretty good today. Um, yeah, no, not too bad. The only thing I got to worry about here is the weather in Cincinnati, but we'll take a look at that and then look at the game time weather actually. So actually, we could do that right now if we can. I actually like looking at the hourly. So they already got lineups out for this game as figured. Let's see if they got the weather posted. They usually got the weather on here. At least I know they do for, 83 game time weather. So let's take a look here. So I like looking at the hourly forecast. So the game's starting at 12 p.m. Yeah. Could be just a pop-up rain shower that they're worried about, but looks fine. So let's give it a go. But Valdez actually went and the doubleheader yesterday for both games. So definitely like him today. I think he'll do pretty good. And one thing that I haven't really mentioned in my videos that I do go by for a lot of my picks, like a lot of the picks aren't just random, is lineup spots, which can be very important. So lineup spots, righty versus lefty, back to backs, a lot of that obviously ballpark stuff. So yeah, lineup spot really do matter a lot. Splits, looking at splits and such. So, but that's a few things that I do look at. When giving you guys home run picks. So, but yeah, nice Sunday morning. Obviously the Genesis Scottish Open final round is going on right now, so I know we got some picks for that. Took Rory McIlroy live at plus 10,000 odds this morning. Uh, he fell back to -7 yesterday. A lot of the play was bad due to the fog, but we'll talk more about that in my next um, golf video. Hopefully that we can cash a winner in, and which will be the Open this upcoming Thursday next week. So, all right, like I said, this the first game is Milwaukee against Pittsburgh here. Um, so we got Robert Gasser against Skeen on the mound. So Valdez got that lefty versus righty matchup, so he's okay here. I don't mind that. But honestly, this isn't really my favorite game on the slate. So you could take Valdez, and then here, let's move this because I usually have it over here. But yeah, I like Valdez here for Pittsburgh, and then yeah, maybe Brian Reynolds or Gonzalez here. Brian Reynolds, and then Gonzalez would be more of a long shot. And then here gets Paul Skeens. Obviously, he's been pretty good on the season. I know he's given up 11 home runs, but I just feel like he hasn't been his usual self. He's 7-8. Um, for this game, I don't mind taking Cheerio or Turang. All right, Bowers. So this should be all right. We could take a look to see how many home runs Skeens has given up recently. So it looks like 5 home runs the past 5 games. So I just feel like he hasn't been himself like he was last year, pitching like he was last year. So yeah, I don't mind Bowers here. Cheerio. Who else did I mention? And then Turing at plus 830. So this should be a decent game. But you never know. I mean, kind of like Christopher Sanchez yesterday against the Tigers. He could come out randomly throwing his stuff. So just maybe take this game lightly here. There is better games to be betting on. Moving on, we got Kansas City against Baltimore. So Seth Lugo. So a lot of these lineups are starting to come out as it's 10:26 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll start seeing these lineups come out. We're about 3 hours away from these 1:30 games. But we got Seth Lugo against Shane Baz. So this should actually be a decent game for home runs. Lugo's given up 14 home runs and Baz has given up 9. I will mention that Pete Alonso's in a good spot here in this 4 spot. So, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of somebody else. Alonso, yeah, Seth Lugo has not given up anything to the 4 spot here within the past 5 games. I'm sorry, but I do like Alonso here. You could take him no matter the lineup spot for him. I mean, plus 285 odds for that righty versus righty matchup. And then I think Taylor Ward went yesterday. I think he did. You can take a look. I thought I saw his name pop up. Yeah, Mayo. Yeah, Ward went. So I like him for the back-to-back. So you could take Taylor Ward here at plus 500 odds. And then Gunnar Henderson. Obviously isn't a bad choice either. And then Colton Cowser also for the back-to-back. And then as far as anybody against Shane Baz, I could take Caglione for the day late since it was on him yesterday. And then maybe Jensen here. But yeah, this game should be decent. Shouldn't be too bad. So Witt's got one off him, but he's 2 for 8. And then Baz has only given up 1 home run the past 5 games. So he's actually been pretty decent. No matter that 4-9 record here. So take who you like for the Royals. But I like Caglione here for the day late. And then as far as weather goes, I know I missed the weather past 2 games. So that weather in Pittsburgh is going to be that wind blowing in. Shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, at 6 miles an hour. And then this next game is going to be, this Baltimore. It's going to be played in Baltimore here. So, yeah, wind blowing in 13 miles an hour for most of the game here. Minus 6% model percentage. Next game that I do love, James Wood in. Will Warren has given up home runs to the 1 spot the past 2 games. So, definitely like Wood here. His odds will probably be low. Yeah, plus 285. So, yeah, Wood's definitely a go for this game for that lefty versus righty matchup. Obviously, feel free to either take Luis Garcia, Abrams, Curtis Mead, any of those top 4 guys here. This should be, they're expecting over 9.5 runs here. So Abrams, Garcia, or even Curtis Mead here. Against Kate Cavalli, let's take a look at his stats. So he's given up 8 home runs. Has he given up anything? Let's see here, his splits here. Yeah, he likes giving up home runs to lefties. So I was gonna mention Ben Rice, which I don't mind for that lefty versus righty matchup. Uh, Grissom went yesterday. McMahon pinch hit for the Yankees and hit a home run. He actually pinch hit for who did he hit? McMahon pinch hit for? Gosh, I can't remember now. But yeah, he came in and hit one. So yeah, I don't mind Grissom here. Ben Rice. Hopefully, yeah, there's McMahon, so I don't mind him for the back-to-back. Probably with some high odds. Yeah, plus 600. So obviously the slate looks pretty decent so far, but it is Sunday. All right, these guys need a break. So hopefully it does live up to the hype that we're seeing so far. But yeah, I definitely like James Wood here. Plus, he does like hitting on Sundays. And I will mention Pete Alonso does as well from that last game, that Baltimore Royals game. All right. Moving on so I could get this video out to you guys. So definitely don't like betting this game. All right. So you get two really good pitchers on the mound, and plus it's a pitcher's friendly ballpark. So Scooball and Zach Wheeler here. And yeah, I'll be pretty honest. I don't really like this game. I mean, I know Scooball's been giving up home runs. I think past few starts since coming back from injury, yeah, he's given up a home run in each of those last 5 starts. I wonder how he is against the Phillies here. Let's take a look. All right, yeah, the Phillies haven't hit off him. Comerica Park, like I said, it's good weather here in Michigan. Wind blowing from left to right here. So definitely good for the left-handed hitters today. But yeah, I mean, Schwarber could hit lefties. I mean, Turner. I did realize that Scoobo does like giving up home runs to the one spot from time to time. Let's see. Let's take a look. And what's it splits? So yeah, the righties. Oh, sorry, had to crack my back there. Yeah, so Colt Keith, Bolt. So he gave up to Bolte last time, which was the 9-hole. Yankees here. Ben Rice hit him. That was a lefty versus lefty matchup. And this is where the leadoff really got him. Goldschmidt got him twice for that righty versus lefty matchup in the leadoff spot. And then I think, okay, good chuck there. But take your favorite, probably righty. I mean, Schwarber, Harper if you want to take him, but I don't mind Trey Turner here. I really don't. Let's see. Yeah, Schwarber's at plus 340 odds. It's probably some of the best odds that you'll actually see him at against Scooball here. But yeah, Trey Turner's at plus 750, so not bad. And then against Wheeler. So Wheeler against Detroit. Carpenter's got one off of him as well as Colt Keith. So Keith is 3 for 3 off of Wheeler here. He's given up 6 home runs to lefties. But yeah, as far as the weather here, looks good. And then you could take Green here. McGonigal's been seeing the ball really good. I mean, Colt Keith hits him really well. So I don't mind Colt Keith, Riley Green. There's Colt Keith at plus 600. Or even Kerry Carpenter. But, yeah, I think this game will be pretty low scoring. So, we'll see. We will see. Definitely not my favorite home run game. I'm not taking anybody from this game. I'm just giving you options here. All right, Cubs and Cincinnati. That should be an actual decent game. All right, so love PCA today. Late seating on Sundays. I mean, it is a lefty versus lefty matchup here against Abbott, but he is actually in a good lineup spot here in the one hole. So I definitely like PCA today. Plus 285, and I love Suzuki for that righty versus lefty matchup, who's also in a good lineup spot. Yeah, I don't think you got nothing to worry about here in Cincinnati for this game. So, like I mentioned, hourly forecast looks perfectly fine. I'm not going anybody against Boyd here for this game. He's 4-1. I like more Cubbies against Abbott today, but yeah, Suzuki and PCA are my top picks here for the Cubbies. I think it's a pretty good chance they both hit today. Next game, Boston and the Mets. So Peyton Toll against Zach Thornton. Should be an all right game as far as the weather goes here in New York. Wind blowing out. Okay. And then, what's that model percent? Yeah, plus 19% there for that game. Minus 3% model percentage. So, yeah, Toll's giving up 8, and then Zach Thornton only has 1 start on the season here. This isn't really one of my favorite games here to bet on, but I was on Rafaela today, so, I mean, you could take him for the day late. At the end of the video, I already got both my 2 round robins, so I'll post those here for you guys to tail. So, yeah, Rafaela for plus 560 for the odds here. And then maybe Caleb Durbin for a long shot. Plus 800. And then against Peyton Toll, I don't mind Francisco Alvarez here. Yeah. I mean, this is a lefty here. He probably gives up more home runs to righties, and it's pretty even. It's pretty even. So, yeah. I mean, you could take him a Bichette, but I like Alvarez more here. And then you could try Soto. But this isn't one of my favorite games on the slate. All right. So we got Cleveland at Miami. Love Hernandez today. Good spot here in the 2-hole against Joey Cantillo. Lefty versus righty matchup. All right. So, yeah. I mean, I like Hernandez. He should have most Marlins should have pretty good odds here. Plus 500. So I definitely like that if you take them. And then, yeah, I only like Hernandez here. I mean, you could try Lopez if you want, but I like Hernandez the most. And then against Tyler Phillips, I just can't take guards right now. I really can't. So, yeah. I only like Hernandez from this game. And then Lopez is a long shot if you want. And then that game's obviously played in the Dome. Seattle at Tampa Bay, another Dome game. Camaro's got that righty versus righty matchup against Emerson Hancock. Good spot there in that 3-hole who Emerson Hancock gives up to. So Caminaro odds, it's probably like around the 200 range here. At plus 255. And then Yeah, Hancock's given up like 16, I think, home runs so far on the season. So we should see a couple home runs from Hancock today. Oh, he's giving up 12. So, yeah, I should see a couple home runs from Tampa Bay today. Yandy Diaz, I don't mind him. You can see. Okay. Yeah, Yandy Diaz is 2 for 2 off him. I don't mind him. A plus 540 odds. And then as far as anybody against Ian Seymour, I'm not taking any I'm not taking any Mariners today. Yeah, I'm not. I was at Canzone yesterday, but yeah, I don't like Mariners here. But Caminero and Diaz for me today. And then like I think the best day of the week was Friday, and I was at work, so I missed a lot of good plays. But yeah, hopefully today's actually a pretty decent day. We got Athletics at Chicago. So Murakami hasn't hit a home run yet since returning back to the lineup from his injury. As far as the weather goes in Chicago, wind blowing in, plus 1% model percentage. Nothing to worry about there. Yeah, a lot of this warm temperatures today, 80 degrees or higher, and actual Oracle Park, 75 degrees. So, yeah, definitely good weather all across the slate. But JT Ginn, he hasn't actually been too bad. There's 11 home runs. Again, this isn't really my favorite game one of my favorite games on the slate, but you could definitely take Antonacci here, Murakami. Let's see. Yeah, Murakami. Antonacci for a long shot there. And then I never mind Vargas or Benintendi, Montgomery. But the White Sox really haven't been hitting the past few games like they have been. So White Sox had actually, I mean, there's only one run scored in this game right here. And then Friday, yeah, there's 14-1 the White Sox won. Yeah, Vargas had a home run there. So, but JT Ginn stats against the White Sox. Yeah, he's only faced Benintendi and Tristan Peters here. So I don't mind Benintendi. Montgomery. So Antonacci, Murakami, Vargas. This should actually be a all right game. Vargas, Benintendi. Pick your favorite White Sox. Colson Montgomery. And then anybody against Noel Schultz. He's given up, I think it was 7 home runs so far in the season. Yeah, 7. So we got that lefty on the mound. I'm sorry, yeah, the lefty on the mound for the White Sox. But yeah, even the Athletics have been kind of quiet. But maybe Shea or Jacob Wilson here. Or maybe Henry Bolt. Shea. Henry Bolt for a long shot. And then Jacob Wilson's at plus 1100. So. But this should be an all right game. What's the over under here? Over 8.5. All right, moving on here to the Angels and Minnesota Twins. So Buxton's obviously still out of the lineup due to injury. You got Jorge Siriano against Tage Bradley on the mound. So Angels and Twins. So I'll be honest, I don't like this game as much. Really, Twins aren't really hitting home runs. And then Angels have been kind of hard to pick as well. The weather in Minnesota is actually wind blowing out. It's going to be pretty warm there today. at 9 miles an hour. Yeah, only plus 1% model percentage for that game. But, yeah, you can take Neto or Trout, probably my top two picks here, or even Josh Lau. So Trout, Neto, or even Josh Lau usually has pretty good odds too, but I don't see his name on here. And then against Jose Soriano, I mean, gosh, it's just hard to pick Twins. Maybe Clemens or Bell. Oh, the only ones really popping out to me. But don't like this game too much. And as always, it's Sunday, so just be careful. Atlanta against St. Louis. So J.R. Ritchie against Dustin May here. All right, so this should be probably another icky game. More than likely. Don't really like this game. Both have given up 7 home runs on the season. And then Weather in St. Louis. So wind blowing in. Yeah, look at that model percentage. That's awful. Minus 21%. Yeah, it's blowing in at 12 miles an hour. I don't like Busch Stadium too much. But you could take Walker if you want, or Burleson. But or even Olsen here for Atlanta. But yeah, I don't like this game either. Olsen, Burleson, or Walker. As you can see, the odds are pretty high there. So, not going to really dive deep into that game. Yeah, Houston against Texas. So, another game I'm not too high on here. Christian Javier on the mound against Mackenzie Gore. So as far as this game goes, the game's going to be played in Texas. And, yeah, obviously that's a dome and the roof is closed as well. We could take a look at model percentage, though. It's at minus 11% here. But Christian Javier, I mean, you could take Jock Peterson for this game, but like I said, I'm being straightforward with you guys. Don't really like this game too much. And then against Mackenzie Gore, you got the lefty versus righty matchup. So I'd probably only take Alvarez here. He can hit lefties. So no reason to dive deep into this game either. Next game, Michael Lorenzen against Trevor McDonald. So like I mentioned, the weather in Oracle Park actually looks halfway decent with the temperature being in the 70s. So yeah, definitely like Devers here for that righty versus lefty matchup. He's given up 14 home runs on the season, and Devers is the home run leader right now for San Fran. And see if Devers has good odds today as this loads. All right, we're waiting on this to load. Okay, there it goes. So Devers is at plus 300. Definitely my top pick here for this game. And then I don't mind, Casey Smith. He hit yesterday, so you could take him for the back-to-back. And then as far as anybody against Trevor McDonald, he's 3-7 here on the season. He's only given up 2 home runs, though, within his last 5 games. Yeah, take your favorite Rocky. It is Oracle Park, though, so Moniak or Goodman, I don't mind here. So Moniak's at plus 560, and then Goodman's at 470 here. So yeah, Moniak or Goodman. We got 2 more games to cover. So this next game is going to be Arizona and the Dodgers. So we should have good weather here for Los Angeles Dodger Stadium. Look at that model percentage at plus 32%. So Emmett Sheehan's on the mound against Mitch Bratt. Mitch Bratt. Let's back out of here. Is this his first start this season? No, it's not. So it looks like, let's look at the last game. So he pitched 3 innings in that last game against St. Louis. So, I'm sorry. Yeah, only 3 innings here. So this is only his second start so far on the season. So, definitely don't mind Dodgers this game. Let's see. Odds will probably be pretty low. I wonder what the over-under is. Let's take a look. Yeah, over 9.5 runs. And Shohei Ohtani's at plus 200 odds. I do like Arenado here, though, for the righty versus righty matchup against Emmett Sheehan. You could probably find better odds. Plus 440 there. And then, obviously, I don't mind Marte here. Kepler's been kind of popping up out of nowhere as well. So you could take him. He probably got good odds here as a long shot. But I don't see his name on here. Oh, there he is. Plus 420. And then Marte. And then against this young gun, Mitch Bratt. That's quite a last name. He is the lefty. It looks like he's got more at-bats against righties. So, looks like righties are hitting him a little bit better. But, yeah, I don't mind Ohtani here if you want to take those odds. But I like Pages, even Mookie Betts. I like Pages there at plus 350, and then you could take Betts if you want. So this should be a decent game. Obviously, as you can see, that 9.5 runs there. All right. And then we should be at our last game on the slate, which is Toronto against San Diego. So Kevin Gausman here against German Marquez. My cat always wants food. But Kevin Gausman here on the mound against German Marquez. So weather in San Diego today is going to be wind blowing out. They're saying plus 5 model percentage for home runs. So I wonder if the over under, yeah, it's plus over 8.5. So depending on how the days go, maybe we could take something for this 4 p.m. slate here between these 3 games. I'll let y'all know. But for this game, I definitely like Bogarts and Machado, righty versus righty matchup. So those 2 guys are my favorites for the Padres today. Machado and then Bogarts is at plus 600. And then as far as anybody against German Marquez, how's his splits look for this game? But yeah, Gausman hasn't given up any home runs to the 3 and 4 hole out of his last 5 starts here. I mean, he has given up 6 home runs though. So that doesn't take away the fact that I still like Machado and Bogarts. But yeah, here, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, Vladdy hit yesterday, so you could take him for the back-to-back at plus 370. And then, obviously, home run leader, Okamoto is a good choice as well. So, obviously, like Okamoto here. So, Vladdy and Okamoto for the Blue Jays, and Machado and Bogarts for the Padres. So, that covers the Sunday slate. So, I'll give you all my 2 round robins for the day. And then I'll get out of here and then get this video posted before the game start this afternoon. So we're going to go with James Wood for this first round robin. Along with Suzuki and Junior Caminaro. So this will be our first round robin today. Definitely like this for Sunday for today's slate. And then my other round robin I'm going to run is PCA. Pete Crow Armstrong, although as a lefty versus lefty matchup at plus 310. And then I like Petey Alonso. So like I mentioned, PCA and Alonso both like hitting on Sundays. So like Alonso here. And then we'll take Devers to round it out. All right, then, like I said, depending on how the day's going, maybe we'll take something for the 4 p.m. slate here. There's 3 4 p.m. games, but as always, be sure to like and subscribe, comment. All right, definitely more the likes, the better. Tell your friends about the channel. All right, subscribe. All right, join up, and then put the word out there for me. And one of these days we'll do a live once we get enough subscribers. And I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, we'll chat with y'all later. Let's have a good Sunday.